Hello, my name is David Webb, and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster, and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game, and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's me to go first. I have the cue. I do not have any words playable with the cue, so I'm going to change my tiles. I'm going to keep ARS. I'm thinking about the M and the N, but I think it's best to keep just these three. And that is not particularly good. I've only got one vowel, and if my opponent plays a vowel, if he plays a U, I have unstarry, and he does. Brilliant. Let's just check that there's nothing else. Well, even if there is... Well, no, if I played through the A of upgaze and got a double-double, that would be better than getting a triple word square. But I can't see a move with those letters. Gosh, this is fortunate that this rack did not look good at all. Unstarry 86. And I have footles. I can make footles and upgazes, and I can also make footless playable at J1. And I draw 5 points for the challenge. So this is a pretty good start, setting aside the initial rack with the cue. Now, does footles have an anagram? Don't think it does. So is footless the best I can do? There's plenty of floaters on the board. Footless, well, I can play that at J2. It doesn't have to be played at J1, and that puts the F on the triple letter square. But I could play footlers at M2. But is footlers good? Always tricky with agent nouns. I think it is, but I'm not 100% certain. I can't see anything through the Z. And there's the A to consider again. Nothing through that. Well, footless may be good, but I don't think footless is going to be far behind, if at all. Again, a rack with one vowel, but I don't think any floating vowel can come to my rescue in the way that the U of upgaze did. Gins takes a D in front. I don't have one of those, but I need to keep that tucked away in my mind. I would have rolling through an I. And mauling. I have Mongol through one of the O's of footless, so I could actually play that at I3, which has just been blocked. Well, I want to play off as many tiles as possible because none of these tiles are particularly bingo-y. I could play glamour through the A of upgazes. 18 points. It leaves L and N, which is not a good combination. Those letters don't go well together. So is there something a little bit better I can play? There's normal, which leaves G and L. Well, that's not great either. I've got 16 minutes left, so I'm not under time pressure, but I don't want to dwell too long on this move because whatever I play isn't going to score very much. I like the idea of taking out the A of upgazes because that is a hot spot with the double-double available. So can I do better than glamour? Well, there's gallon leaving MR. Would I rather have MR to LR? Well, I would, but I wouldn't want to take a point sacrifice to achieve it. I do have the man suffix. Well, I can't see anything with that. Well, that's pretty good. Opaline. Not sure that plays anywhere. Pelorian is good through an R, but both R's of Unstari are now blocked. What else is there? Can't see anything through the Y. Can't see anything through the F. Well, I may not have anything which plays. My opponent has not provided any floaters. But it would be annoying to miss a bingo if there was one. So there's the G of glamour. So I've got AGE words, I've got the ING ending. Can't see a bingo through that. What else is there? There's certainly nowhere to play Opaline. I'm 44 points ahead. Now I could play in column 15, I could play piano. It's 33 points, that's not bad. And it keeps the E. If I could put the P on the double letter square at D15, I'd score more. So I'd be looking at a word ending PO or PA. Can't see one, so I've got piano. The rack leave there is EL. So, am I missing a bingo? There's the L of footless. Can't see anything through that. Okay, I think I've spent enough time looking. Both blanks are unseen, so it's good to turn over a lot of tiles, increases your chances of drawing one of them. and I don't, but I do draw the X, and I have 5 vowels, which is ordinarily not good, but vowels go well with the high-scoring tiles. So I have Axile at 01, 36 points. I've got Max at I11, making Tsar and X for nearly 50 points. That's been taken out. So is there anything better than Axile? Yes, there is. There is Exile across here. And this is really nice. Rack, lever, VA, it's all vowels, but they're both good vowels. And the score of 65 is fantastic. And I duplicate both of the letters that I keep, which is not great. I would have T bred through an R. D albate is good. That doesn't play. Is there an anagram? There is, there's dateable, and that does play through the L of footless. Let me just check that. Yep. So, dateable. What other floaters are there? I certainly don't have a 7-letter bingo. There's the tiles in piano, the P of up gazes, the F of footless. None of those work. Great. Well, this does not look a promising rack, but I have a bingo. And both blanks unseen. Dateable. Ooh, dreadful. Okay, well, a very easy rack to deal with. I will be changing. And that will be the second time this game I will have changed the cue. What a shame. Well, I'm 170 points ahead. So it shouldn't be too costly. But it does interrupt the momentum. Okay, I think that's good. I am going to challenge it. It's fine. And now I'm going to... Well, I would have trank through an A, and that leaving CNN, so let me just see if there's an A on the board that I can use. Well, there was, but there isn't after my opponent's last move. So I'm going to change. There's only one R left. So I will keep that. It's quite a good letter. Oh, gosh. Another hideous rack. Only one vowel. But looking at the tiles that are left, there aren't actually that many vowels. My opponent played off 4 of them in Goody, but look what's left. There's 1 A, 3 E's, 3 I's, and a couple of U's. So that's 9 tiles out of 23. So, what to do? Well, I don't think this is a rack to be changing. But really, that depends on what's available. Gosh, this is really bad. Really bad. And there's 2 blanks unseen. I was looking to put my W at A3 in front of the H, but I can't see a word. It would begin WHA, and I can't see one. I could play weed at G3. 18 points, that's not great. I could play ball at 01. 27 points, that's looking a little better, it doesn't leave any duplicates. I'm really reluctant to change again because that'll be 2 consecutive moves, and although I'm 100 points ahead, if my opponent bingos, suddenly he could be within reach. Well, I've got wall. That's better than ball. Wall for 30 points, that's certainly better than changing. Gosh. What a nightmare. This is just terrible. I've got chick, C-H-I-K, at M2. And I could just play the Q at B14. Okay, the Q actually goes at B14 and M3 for over 20 points. But given that I can play it in 2 places, I'm inclined to keep the Q and play off more of my tiles. So if I play just the Q, there's a strong possibility that I'll have 7 consonants, and that's not good. I'm 150 points in front, which is a good lead. I'm looking at A4 down through the U of thug. I haven't got a word with the Q in that spot, but maybe I have with my other tiles. No, I can't see one. So chick, I think, is the best I've seen so far. The board would really be awkward if my opponent took that I out. Which he may do, he may be short of vowels himself. I've got cheek at G3. 22 points, that's better than changing. And it's 26 points for chick. Good, I'm definitely going to be making a move. Well, my opponent looks like he does still have lots of vowels. And I haven't seen anything better than this. Gosh, another horror show. Only 7 tiles left, both blanks unseen. The remaining tiles are extremely bingo-y. In fact, I would expect my opponent to be bingoing this go. He's got the floaters in thug, the T and the H. He's got a 7-letter bingo lane in row B. So there are available bingo lanes. And both of my eye spots for playing chi have gone. But I've got the U to go with my Q, so I could play quad at D3, 28 points. And the Q, there are a couple of spots where I can play chi for 11 points. The U I have is the last one, so I will almost certainly want to use that with my Q. If my opponent does bingo now, he will empty the bag. So the tiles I have are all the ones that I will have for the rest of the game. My risk would be that my opponent bingos now, draws 7 tiles and is able to bingo again, so I'm not going to rush to play quad. If my opponent bingos, I'll be able to see what he has on his rack, and hopefully if he does have a bingo I can block it. So having seen quad, I'm looking to see where else I can play the Q. I can play quit at F3. I could play a word beginning QU at F13 down, a word beginning QUE, but I don't have one which goes. I can play queen at G3, 25 points, and it plays off 3 tiles, whereas quad and quit we're only playing 2. And that could be relevant if my opponent does not bingo, because it would increase my chances of drawing a blank. What else have I got? Onto an A, I would have Burka. Can't see any available A's. My opponent is likely to have at least 1 blank, so he must be very close to a bingo. I'm still looking to see if there are alternative spots for my Q. I certainly don't want to be stuck with it. Well, I can't see any further words than those I've considered. So setting aside the Q, I've also got the V to deal with. But actually at this late stage of the game, the V being worth 4 points, it can be a useful scoring tile. My opponent has just under 9 minutes left and I have just under 8, so neither of us is in time trouble. I don't have many V words on my rack, and in particular since I'm retaining the U for using or for playing with my Q, I don't have any words at all on my rack. But that shouldn't cost me the game. I'm 167 points ahead, which is a massive lead. If my opponent does bingo in row B above urea, he will be opening up row A, and in particular the triple word square at A8. If he bingos through the T of thug, it will be a face value bingo, and he will be opening up column 1 with its triple word square at H1. So probably the best bingo lane for my opponent would be column 3 through the H. But that would have to have the H in exactly second place, so there may not be such a bingo on his rack. And the absolutely best possible place for him to play would be row D through OD and hitting the double word squares at D4 and D12, but that's extremely unlikely. Having said that, U does take an S hook. Right. Okay. 5 tiles left. My opponent scored 24. He has opened a bingo lane in column 1. I don't need to block that because I am comfortably ahead. 5 tiles in the bag. I'd like to play off as many as I can. I think Queen is the best I've seen. Hooray, I have a vowel. But with 2 blanks unseen, my opponent may well have both of them. He could well be bingoing now. If he does bingo now, there are still 2 tiles in the bag, so I get to have one more play. So this game is won. I'm 170 points ahead. He's not going to catch me. I can play Brunt at A12 down. Yep, titties, that's fine. I and N are the last 2 in the bag. So is Brunt the best I can do? My opponent's bingo has not opened anything up. Yeah, there's not too many openings to consider on this board. I don't need to worry about the V because my opponent will be going out next go. So Brunt for 20 points. There are many spots for my opponent to play out. I don't imagine this will take him very long. Okay, so I click pass to end the game. And the final score is 338 to my opponent, 432 to me, so quite a comfortable win. No, I will not be rematching immediately. Let's see what I missed. Okay, so it was me to go first. Actually, this is going to bug me. I'm going to reply. There, that feels a little more polite than completely ignoring his request. So, what was best here? Yeah, changing definitely better than those low scoring moves. Unstarry was the only bingo. Here Footless was good and it scored 5 more points than Footless, so not really a big deal. This was a tricky rack. Nom leaving GLLR, it's a good score, it's not a good leave. So looking at those, the choices here, Glamour looks fine. Great, I did not miss a bingo. But I could have played Apiol for 35 at 011, making Yar as well. That would have been 2 more points than Piano, and the rack leave of EN is better than EL. So Piano is slightly suboptimal, but not hugely. Oh, look at that. That's where all the vowels were. And here, Exile or Axile. Yeah, Exile's better. AE being a better leave than EE. Gosh, my poor opponent, look at that, he had 3 U's. Now here's where I certainly got lucky. Unpromising rack, but I did have a bingo. This looks a good rack for my opponent. Let's see if he missed something. No, he didn't miss a bingo. Okay, this was a real horror show. I could have played Chin at M3, but the rack leave of CNN RT completely wipes out the score of 24, so changing was better. Bure for 37 at A5. 4. I see, coming down through the U of thug, but it keeps 2 W's, so I actually prefer my play of wall. Ruck. I didn't consider that. Again through the U of thug. What did I do here? I played chick for 26. I could have played ruck for 44. Ruck is a lot better. And quern. I didn't consider that at F13. Right, down through the E of up gazes. I did consider that spot, I think, on another rack, but yeah, it was playable, as was cubit, and both of those are significantly better than queen in terms of score. And finally, I could have played derv at M11. I see making die and putting an E on the end of Zuir. I didn't consider that spot. That would certainly have been better. So I played brunt, and then my opponent went out. So an interesting game. It was a very comfortable win, but some of the racks I had in that game were truly atrocious. Now, you always have racks that you complain about, but I think in all the games I videoed, this was my greatest concentration of nightmare racks. So it's good to have a game like this, a game of extremes, and to show you playing through them, because you have to do that. So I hope that was of value and that you enjoyed watching it. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.